everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. We're Geeks Who Drink, and here's how all this works. In the first round, our director AJ will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives. We panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of the 2 minutes, we'll decide on our final answer, and AJ will tell us if we're right. Lather, rinse, repeat. If you're watching this live, we are watching the chat. Please chime in if you have anything witty or interesting to say about the question, but whatever you do, please don't shout out the answers. We can be wrong all by ourselves. Thank you very much. Before we get started, let's meet our panel. Back this week from North Carolina, it's Lea. From New Mexico, it's Kohen. And auditioning to be our junior youth correspondent, joining us again from Colorado, Derek Knight.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
I think it's going to get weird.
Great to have you here.
It's going to get weird without our senior youth correspondent, but hopefully Naim will be back in the future. Derek, you have big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to feel.
Big shoes.
Some people are into that.
I'm saying he's a clown. He
Look,
drives
all
a
I'm
tiny
saying
car
is that I
and
know
wears
that
big shoes.
Naim has many
The feel.
hats, which makes me feel like he has many shoes. So shoes to feel. That's all I'm saying. Correlated.
Break into his house and feel all his shoes.
They're worse
Naim, I
ways
hope
to
you're-
spend an evening.
Hope he's not watching this where we're threatening to break into his house.
I hope he is watching this.
Oh, it's getting weird. Without further ado, AJ, give us our first question.
Your first question of the evening. After Hurricane Maria, Pitbull used his private plane to ferry sick folks off what island?
So I have a Pavlovian reaction when somebody says Pitbull, because I worked in a bar that had a jukebox that had all songs in Spanish, but only one English song. And it was, I Know You Want Me.
Dale ocho? I didn't even know dogs could fly planes.
Dale.
This question is fascinating to me because I was unaware that dogs of any breed, let alone a maligned breed like a pit bull, could fly planes, because I thought you needed A, opposable thumbs, and B, how many thousands of hours behind the stick before you could become a pilot? And this dog has a private plane? This is horse shit.
Dogs
No,
learn
no.
at 7 times the rate that humans do.
It's not
Yeah.
a pit bull, it's the pit bull. Mr. 305.
No, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh.
I don't know if you know that, but he's now Mr. Worldwide. Has been for some time.
I thought that was David Letterman.
That's Worldwide Pants, actually.
Oh,
And weirdly, Letterman still has tons more hair than this pit bull.
it's true.
Speaking of pants, there was a conversation going on earlier in the day whether pants or slacks was the funnier name for trousers.
Yeah,
I guess
pants.
trousers would be an
Trousers
option.
is actually
Trousers,
pretty
pants-
damn funny.
Trousers is the funniest.
But pants beats slacks by a ton, by a mile.
I would say no. I'm on team pants personally.
Pants is
Unless
only
you have
good
a big
because in the
cigar and
UK,
you're Groucho Marx.
pants in the UK means underwear. So like,
That's
why it's
one of the
good.
reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons it makes it funny.
I mean, Pitbull was the hint, but the real question is, where was Hurricane Maria? And it was Puerto
Hurricane
Rico.
Maria hit the west side of New York. That was
Yeah.
So the sick folks were in Sicily.
Oh,
oh no, puns have started.
I was
Oh,
gonna
boy.
make
Puns
this
out, puns out.
make a really serious point about how like the people of Puerto Rico, like the citizens of DC where I live, are politically disenfranchised, but even worse because colonialism and stuff. And that's why they didn't get proper hurricane relief and they had to rely on the legs
Had
of
to rely
Pitbull
on
to fly them
dog.
off of the island of Puerto Rico.
They had to rely on Poochie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Puerto Rico, isn't it?
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Objections. All right.
No objections.
AJ, we will send our thanks, our gracias to Pitbull for helping the people of Puerto Rico. Is that right?
It is correct.
Should have been the government. But thanks, Pitbull. AJ, what do you got
Eric's
for
wife just said that she's team no pants in the chat.
Oh, damn. That might be more information than we needed.
Oh,
She
that's
gave
just
it.
the magic of Eric.
AJ,
When
get
Eric
me
is
out of this
around,
visual.
Pants just vaporize. They just disappear.
It just happens.
Help.
I live next door to him, can confirm.
Can we get
AJ,
another?
no pants
You have
either.
to close your windows. I'm not doing it in my house.
All right, your
I'm glad
next
that I'm safely
question.
across the country. Thank you.
Your next question. Congress coughed up $20 million for public TV in 1969 after 6 minutes of testimony from what guy?
See, people think Elmo was debuted in the 90s, but his first actual assignment was to put the members of Congress into a mesmerized trance so that they would just hand over, like that line in Field of Dreams, they'll pass the money over without even thinking about it.
Was this the like prototype for Tickle-Me-Elmo, the Hypnotize Elmo?
Yeah, it was Mesmerize Elmo. It was Mesmer Elmo.
Mesmerize.
So if no one's ever watched this 6 minutes of testimony, it's amazing.
It is. It really is. It's one of those very heart-rending, tear-jerking, like, why didn't I feel anything as a child things when you watch this?
I didn't believe you, Derek, but I believed Kohen. Is it actually Elmo?
No.
Who is it? Who is it?
Oh, no, you need to see this.
First thing that's going to come out of my mouth is going to be absolute bullshit.
This is technically correct.
Usually the
I'm
second and third
trusting you.
thing, too.
Sometimes fourth, fifth, sixth. And yeah, I don't care about, I'm not a member of this clan. I don't have to follow their rules.
It's
rules.
a person. It's a person that we need a version of these days because we're frighteningly devoid.
Lea,
of-
did you not pay attention to the Pitbull question? We have it.
We have,
we have a pit bull. Okay.
Is it Mr.
So he'll go-
Rogers?
yeah, it's Mr.
absolutely
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Rogers, and he was testifying and over funding, and I forget the senator's name. Senator Pastore?
Senators.
And the head senator who was on this committee was like known for being this complete hard ass. And 6 minutes of Mr. Rogers talking about how important it is for kids to see this positive influence and everything, and how public television reaches all these different communities. And at the end of it, like, the senator was like, "All right, that's it. You got the funding. We're done here."
I mean, obviously,
Is that where
very...
Is that where the footage
Go
of Mr. Rogers flipping the bird came from?
No. The Mr. Rogers flipping the bird is they were doing 1, 2, 3. That was just a mistake. He didn't know, because he wasn't the kind of guy that would have road rage.
I thought,
Although if I had to testify in front of Congress, you bet your ass that's going to happen.
Derek, you're doing a bad job of being our youth correspondent, because the reason that I didn't immediately think it was Mr. Rogers is that 1969 seemed too long ago for him to have, because like I remember him being on TV when I was a child in the 90s.
He was on for ages.
He was on for a long, long time. And
But
also the
here's-
reason I'm very bad at being a youth correspondent is because I'm basically an old prospector. So
Here's
That
the
is
real.
legendary.
You're the one who gave him that job.
The real question I have for Derek, though, is what kind of microphone was he using for that testimony?
I'd have to look at the video, but I guarantee I could pinpoint it. Might have been one of these. This is an Electro Voice 666. It's the mic of the beast.
It was Mr. Rogers, by the way.
Okay. Bring some more positivity back into our lives.
I would argue
wow,
that
he was on
LeVar Burton
TV.
should be the new Mr. Rogers.
He's
Oh
pretty
man,
close.
I pulled it up, AJ, and guess what? There are 2 mics that are actually sitting behind me that he's using.
Nice.
One is the 664, and the other is the Shure Unisphere. Those are the 2 mics on the desk.
So we'll be debuting our new show, Mike Hour with Derek.
So they're
Brought to
literally
you
just
by-
sitting back behind me with no purpose. I did not know this question was coming, but they're both right there.
Brought to you by Geeks Who Mike.
No one can do better than that. We should just all go home. Oh, wait.
Show
where we
over.
AJ, let's keep it rolling.
Your next question. Until 1994, what NFL team had a cheer squad called the Embraceable U's?
Oh, I get it.
Whatever the
does anyone
answer is,
actually
Leah's
know?
tickled.
I mean,
Tickled by this.
you know, if
Well, they're a
if
woolly
there's
sort.
any sheep teams, like if this were Ireland or Scotland,
I would have been such big fans. Fan. Oh my god. I was living in that city at the time too.
I don't know what it is.
yeah, just keep. Oh, you're muted. I think. What happened?
Oh yeah, I was.
Don't mute yourself. Be
again.
brilliant.
I know, right? No, I was saying I was living in that city at the time. So if I have it right, which if I did, it's entirely on the the pun factor, not because I actually know these things.
Just as an aside for our one viewer, before we got started, Leah was like, I don't know anything about Big Four sports.
But I know a lot about puns.
Yes, she knows about puns. Sun's out, puns out when Leah's around.
So there is a principle that, people follow in trivia, which is you should always give 2 points of entry to the answer. So she didn't get the sports one, but she did get the pun, which is enough to get her the win.
I know what it is. I think Leah's figured it out. What
Wait a
about
minute,
you, Eric?
Cohen, do you know what it is?
I think I might know what
It's
it
way
is.
more fun to figure it out than so Nicole, I think it's just you.
Can I get a hint?
Back in the day, they used to be in Anaheim. Then they moved to St. Louis, and now they're back in L.A.
They are sheerly perfect.
Oh, the Rams?
Damn right.
Yeah, I used to live in Los Angeles, and I went to, it was like the year that they were in the Super Bowl after they had come back to Los Angeles, and nobody had any like Los Angeles Rams gear. So they all just wore Dodgers shirts. And that is actually exactly how people in Los Angeles feel about the NFL.
That's a very Hollywood thing to do.
That's true. All right, AJ, it seems like everybody, including me at the last minute, has decided that this is the Rams.
Oh, it was actually the No, it's the Rams.
Much respect.
That is
for the embraceable U's.
I wonder if they got why'd they get rid of it? Like, did they get sued? Were people cringing at the pun?
They moved to St. Louis.
But that doesn't ruin their team cheer squad.
Yeah, they're
name.
still Rams and U's.
I don't know. AJ, do you know why they disbanded? Was it because the cheerleaders wanted to stay in LA and they're like, or was it because they were like, we're tired of paying cheerleaders $5 an hour?
Ooh, they are underpaid.
They are very underpaid.
They also might have decided that sheep weren't sexy enough.
But
which is a shame.
Invisible.
I know.
Have the lambs stopped screaming, Clarice?
Oh, we gotta move on from this. AJ, before it gets too scary, can we have another question?
Yes. Sid Fleischman won a Newbery Medal for what novel about a kid who takes spankings for a prince?
That sounds complicated.
So we went from lamb-based cheerleaders to a dude that gets spanked.
A kid who gets spanked.
A kid
and a dude are different.
Who the hell wrote this question? And why aren't they on some list somewhere?
I feel like that's something you need to talk to Sid Fleischman about.
That's true. Sid Fleischman, it's his fault, right? He wrote the book.
Also, why is that an author's name and not a Hollywood agent's name?
I imagine there
Why
is
not both?
Sid Fleischman. He probably is agent to the stars somewhere in Hollywood. And he also
get you booking in the Catskills like that.
That's right. We're going to do the Borscht Belt this week. You're going to be doing so many gigs. There's thousands of places to do gigs up there.
So he has Adam Sandler's accent from Uncut Gems.
Sure, why not? But well, I mean, this sounds like something we're gonna have to suss out. Like, you got the royal wiper would have to wipe the prince's butt, but who would take the spankings?
The royal cuckold.
Ouch. Damn. Okay, this got dark.
Look, you took it down this path.
I didn't do it.
Children's book?
Fleischman did it. There's a term that that I've heard before called the whipping boy. I don't know if that's a Sid Fleischman book, but I've heard that term before in the sense of, hey, this is who takes the beatings. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's the thing, but we've got a lot of blank faces here. Lea, do you have anything punny to say?
Not right now. My spanking puns are not working at the moment. Sorry.
Have you tried turning them off and turning them back on again?
Just unplug them.
This question was a super downer.
It kind of was. But I your guess sounds as plausible as any. So.
Okay, Kohen, do you have any objection?
I'm going with the whipping child. Sure, why not?
Or
All right,
Whipping
AJ.
cream child.
Oh dear.
Is it the whipping boy?
It is the whipping boy.
Man, I don't even like the fact that I got that right.
A hollow victory.
It's very Pyrrhic. I'm very upset.
Well,
It's an award winner. You should buy a copy for your kid.
I probably saw it at the Scholastic Book Fair when I was a kid. I don't know. When did it come out?
Wasn't the Newbery one of the awards for illustrations? So I guess we're just supposed to buy it for the pictures.
of whipping?
1986.
I mean, hey, when your options are National Geographic, the Sears catalog, or the Whipping Boy, I guess.
Oh, I'm glad we don't live in
I'd
that
still go with the
timeline.
Sears catalog.
All right, let's get away from the thinly veiled BDSM. AJ, can we have another question?
Trace Adkins attained his place in music history in 2005 by rhyming what word with honky tonk?
So before we got on this panel, we were talking about our various trivia strengths, and I'm very strong at popular music, and other people are weak at it. But I do think that, and especially country music. But I feel like Lea knows because she also chuckled audibly. Gentlemen, do you know this answer?
I know who Trace Adkins is. But I know he's a big, tall fellow with a cowboy hat, and he has a very deep voice.
I feel like that was racist.
How's that racist? He's a white guy with a cowboy hat.
You're a white guy, he's a white guy, but somehow it feels like a microaggression.
What?
I don't know.
He's a Mac. He's huge. He's not micro. His aggression is huge, man. He makes me very aggressioned. But I do unfortunately know, because I worked in radio for so long, I know this song. But I'm going to let you guys suss it out.
Yeah, Kohen.
I got nothing, but does the song talk about drinking beers? Is there a tractor in the song at any point? I feel like probably. Maybe working a farm comes up at some point.
I believe, his mama gets hit by a train on her way to the unemployment office. And then he loses his dog when the tractor stops working. And then the dog's working on the tractor, and the dog gets struck by lightning.
This is not that song. This is a more classic cross-genre song about a hot girl. This is a hot girl song. It
is. In fact, again, I know the song. So you guys need to suss this out.
Well, I think Eric's the only sussless one left right now, because most things that rhyme with honky tonk sound like Ben and Jerry's flavors, including this one.
Also, there's a problem with this rhyme, because honky tonk is 3 syllables And the answer is 4 syllables. So it's like a little imperfect.
Yeah, this is one of those like Maya Angelou lateral rhymes.
Well, slant rhymes are the fun ones. So
Yeah.
But I want to hear Lea say it out loud. Of all the people on this call, I want to hear Lea say this title out loud.
Of course you do. So it's the honky tonk badonkadonk.
Badonkadonk!
Peanut butter with swirls of chocolate and a couple of cherries and I don't know what else. Ask Ben and Jerry.
Crack your parts.
I don't know what I was doing in 2005 for this to completely just go right over my head. I no idea.
My guess is you weren't doing line dances.
Target demographic?
Weirdly, I think you are. I mean, well, wait. Are you a member of an Elks Lodge anywhere?
No, but I've seen an elk once.
Then Trace Adkins does not care who you are.
You didn't ask if he was a hot girl, because that would also matter.
Have at any time in your life, have you been a hot girl?
No.
Then Trace Adkins doesn't care who you are.
Oh, you sound so sorry.
It's not so accurate.
Sorry, I haven't.
Trace Adkins ain't gonna come knocking on your door.
Before this gets any weirder, we gotta sell some whatever we sell. It's time for our first ad break. See you back here in a few. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across America just about every night, and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. We also have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can even book us, yes, us, all of us, to do a private quiz virtually or in person. For all the details on that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com and follow us on your socials. Now for technically incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but there's no more teamwork, no more Mr. Nice Guys. Everyone is out for themselves. That means we'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Please put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat, and we will throw them into the mix. At the end of the timer, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right, by which I mean we panelists will do this. You, audience, are allowed to be wrong in the privacy of your own home. AJ, start us off.
Your next question. What's the cleverish title for the Blackish spin-off that follows Zoe off to college?
I feel like it's really hard to have Derek in technically incorrect because he was doing this when we were doing technically correct, where we're supposed to be teammates. And so, Derek, I want to know your answer, but I have no way of telling whether it's true or false.
Well, I mean, the show title follows a theme. It's something-ish, right? And so the original show was Black-ish. And the thing that follows somebody off to college would mean that they're a young adult, so they're adultish.
Now, if I had the opportunity to name it, I probably would have gone with fresh-ish because, you know, you're a fresh person, your first year, and it's just really fun to say fresh-ish. Like, who doesn't
sounds
want
like
to say that all the
fresh-ish.
time?
You're
You're
a
not taking into
fishmonger
account
trying
people
to
that
get
have
people to
speech
come over.
impediments.
Kohen, you think that if you were a fishmonger and you were saying fresh-ish,
I would yell out, "Come get your fresh-ish over here."
but it sounds like not fresh. It sounds
Fresh-ish
just fresh-ish.
fish. Today old fish now.
Well-
Fresh-ish fish. Hey,
Well-
we're tossing fish, fresh-ish fish.
Well, it might be a good slogan for someone who isn't entirely sure whether they're selling fresh fish or not,
Yeah.
because that way you can't be accused of false advertising.
I
It's
live in a
fresh-ish.
landlocked state. This fresh-ish is as good as you're going to get.
That's right. Everything that comes to Albuquerque is either on ice or meth. So it's fish packed in meth, and then it's a 2-for-1 because then you can sell them both.
We have a suggestion from the audience, different dish world, which is
A different
just
dish world.
awesome.
Solid.
Seems legit.
Totally solid.
Wazoom, you win.
They get
We'll
points.
have you on next time. All right,
There's
team.
like 3 spin-offs to this show now, right?
It's
They
true. There actually are a few.
They just
Put 'em up.
announced another one
Is
a
there?
couple weeks ago.
Put them up, put them up, put them up.
Growinish all around. That's points for everybody.
It's the first point I've gotten in like a month.
You did
Oh
it.
man, Leah's on a roll.
Cohen, what's the new spinoff?
Oldish? I think it follows what's his
The
name?
dad?
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Larry Fishburne.
That's cute. Yeah, I know about mixed dish because I am knowing things about mixed people because I'm mixed people. And I know about Grownish because I always get that theme song stuck in my head, but I had not heard the news of Oldish. So
Oh no, our producer says mixed dish is deadish.
honestly,
So not necessarily dead, just close to dead, mostly dead all day.
I was just
Slightly
saying
alive.
that
Fresh-ish.
Mutton, lettuce, and tomato, etc.
I am an expert
Mutton is
on
nice and
biracial
lean.
people, and I've never seen mixed dish, which is probably why it's deadish.
I don't watch much network TV at all, so I'm out of the loop on most of these things, but I pay attention to advertising.
Mm-hmm. That was guessable, I think. AJ, what's our next question?
Your next question, Nicole. The Space Jam soundtrack has Chris Rock doing a duet of Basketball Jones with what soul legend?
How do we do a Space Jam question without an I?
Wasn't
Well,
there a
we
space-
just
wait a
talked
minute.
about Soul Legends. And since they can do holograms of Tupac, this is James Brown.
Wasn't there a Space Jam question about the Quad City DJs a few weeks ago? I seem to recall that when Nine was here, we talked about it.
I feel like there's a Space Jam question every game, especially when Nime's here.
I thought
Well, like,
Basketball Jones was a thing Cheech and Chong did.
Yeah, it was a Cheech and Chong thing back in the day. And it was probably pretty racist. So now you got Chris Rock and a soul legend, Sam Cooke, by the way. The ghost of Sam Cooke got into the studio, recorded this with Chris Rock. Name some soul legends. You guys are just staring.
I mean, okay, so you said Space Jam and I got really excited. My brain was like, everybody get up and sound now, which is what Naim would be doing if he was here. So I'm voicing him. But I don't, even though I had a whole ass Space Jam bedroom when I was a child, I had sheets, I had a Lola Bunny doll, like I had everything. I do not know the answer.
I'm trying to think of soul legends that aren't dead.
So,
Or at least weren't dead in the 90s.
or is this from the new Space Jam? Because now there's two Space Jams, AJ.
Oh, no.
Two Space Jams. Now you can give a kid $3 and say, go see a Space Jam.
I don't know, guys. Is it Al Green?
Al Green.
Al Green was.
That's the
yeah,
soul
Dead?
legend. Soul legend. Al Green. Robert Knight.
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Arthur
All right.
Alexander.
Put him up, team.
Luther Vandross, Gladys Knight, Barry
Oh,
White,
Vandross.
Sexy Times. And Barry White. That's a point each for Derek and Eric with Barry
Well done.
White.
Oh,
Mine was a legit guess because it was the only non-dead person I could think of.
Luther Vandross was alive.
Barely.
Yeah, I didn't think of Luther Vandross. That was the problem.
I mean,
Well,
you
maybe
know,
it wasn't
the
a
problem.
problem.
The only problem with Luther is that if you're going to have a burger named after you between two Krispy Kremes, you're probably going to die young.
You're cold.
Barry
But
White
it happened.
Heart disease is no joke.
I know.
All right. Well, rest in peace, I guess. AJ, can we have our next question?
According to popversussoda.com, what name do Atlantans use for all varieties of pop/soda?
I object.
I
to
mean,
this
see,
question.
growing up here in Colorado, the middle of the country, I always said soda pop and soft drink and whatever would make anybody else offended, because here where I live, big military community, people come from all over and they bring their colloquialisms with them. And they're very adamant about their colloquialism. So when you find out what somebody calls it, call it the opposite and watch them melt down.
Kohen, what do you think?
Oh, Atlanta. I remember it really clearly. Outkast in a bunch of songs called it seltzer all the time.
Outcast, experts on Atlanta, indeed.
I feel like, it's the gone with the wind part of the country. So we're going to be genteel and we're going to call it soft drink.
A soft drink, not a
It's-
hot
it's a soft
drink,
drink.
mind you, but a
It's a
soft,
soft
drink.
drink.
Soft.
That's right.
Yes. Now, you default to Outkast. I default to both the B-52s and REM. And if you listen carefully in all of
REM
their
is
songs,
Athens.
they always
Still
say,
Georgia.
we're from Atlanta, not Athens. And then they say soft drink. But they enunciate all the syllables. They're just soft drink.
Is it if you see a painted sign on the side of the road, it says 15 miles to the
The
south?
soft
Drink.
So it could also be fizzy drink. Yeah, I'll have
That's
myself
true.
a fizzy drink, and then I'll
Carbonated
dress out
beverage.
of curtains. That's right.
A lot of people say carbonated beverage, syrup flavored carbonated beverage. So many ways to say this.
I know. How have we ever settled on the, two, much less one?
Well, that's the name of the website. So,
Exactly.
Well, I think
you guys are
if
all
you were
bad
thinking it's one of
liars.
those
Everyone
two,
knows the answer. Just
you were
put it up.
misled. It's Coke.
It's actually Sprite. No, it's Coke.
It's short for cocaine.
Okay, so obviously Atlanta is basically owned by Coca-Cola, if you've ever been to Atlanta. But I object to the premise of this question because linguists like me take regional names for carbonated beverages very seriously. And I don't know if popversussoda.com goes to the most reputable research. Although I have observed that people in Atlanta say, but I would like a fact check. Something.
Luckily, we have our fact checker right here.
Yeah, so it's not so much about the Coke question; it's about their methodologies.
Yeah,
general.
I'd like to see the data. So the question's fair because it asked what they say, but what about, are they biased? I don't know. Oh, they don't.
Our fact checker says they don't cite their research.
No peer review. All right, kids, if you learn nothing from this show, definitely don't go to websites where they don't cite their sources. Do as we say, not as we do. AJ, what's up next?
Our next question. Some 800 languages are spoken in what 3-word country that rubs butts with Indonesia?
Countries don't have butts.
But if they did, where would the US's be?
My question is where is Indonesia's butt? This isn't a rhetorical question. Somebody help me out. Tell me where Indonesia keeps its butt.
Okay, so if America had a butt, it would have to be in the South, right?
Probably.
So, like, what are the choices? Texas and Florida? Louisiana?
Well, it depends on if it has a large badonkadonk.
Trace
Yes,
Atkins
the
would
country
definitely
is
say
called
Texas.
Honky Space Tonk Badonkadonk.
Kohen, you're suspiciously quiet. What are you thinking?
I'm really trying to think of the answer, and I don't have it yet.
He's trying to get it right. The rest of us are trying to get it wrong.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
What Lea was trying to say is that our producer has told us that Indonesia is in a reclining position, sitting on Australia's head more than any other country.
So Australia is nearer to Indonesia's ass crack than it's not?
Seems right.
Does Indonesia wear pants? These are things I need to know. And you guys are being suspiciously quiet. You're not helping me. You're not informing me.
I'm sure Indonesia wears trousers.
Oh, jodhpurs.
Where did they buy them from, though?
Where do they do? Oh, where do they buy them?
Where do they buy their trousers from?
Amazon, duh. Where do we get all our stuff? Who's going to build our company town soon and enslave us all? Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon, if you want to sponsor the show, I didn't say any of that.
Yeah. Well, it's about time for you to put up the answers.
So I only came up with one that wasn't Bosnia and Herzegovina.
That's not the right one.
Oh my God, thank God everyone wrote the same thing.
That is absolutely correct. Papua New Guinea points all around.
I feel like
Eric taking a wild stab in the dark and getting a point anyway.
I had a bit of a worry that like I was writing down the name of a country completely on the opposite side of the globe.
That's okay. Like every continent has some kind of guinea, so.
Oh my God, there's so many.
I know. So yeah, I'm sure that was
Papua New Guinea.
No one would have blamed you.
Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea. And then there's French Guiana, which is not Guinea, but sounds kind of like it. And just regular Guyana.
Can you say? Could you just say Guinea again?
Guinea?
Guinea. This sounds like a Bud Light ad.
Yeah. I knew that from my day job because Papua New Guinea is well known for its linguistic diversity. So there we go.
Why is that?
Combination of historical facts related to colonialism, geographic distribution, ecological systems, traditional trading patterns. I'll send you an article.
Cite your sources.
History, basically. All right. I hear that it's time for our last question of the tactically incorrect round.
Our final question of the evening. One of Kirsten Dunst's first commercials was for what board game with a pop-o-matic dice roller?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm probably the only game board aficionado on this call. I know that Eric has never played a board game in his life, doesn't like them.
Where's the mute button again?
But if you're thinking about something that has a pop-up dice roller, that's probably Yahtzee Imperial, the Super Yahtzee game that was banned after it went nuts and caught fire.
Super Yahtzee?
Was that made by
Yahtzee
Samsung?
Imperial. Yahtzee Imperial Super Yahtzee. It's Yahtzee, but it was Yahtzee Imperial Super Yahtzee. It's the actual name of the game. And I would thank you to say it properly.
So I feel like those pop-up things were like every single children's board game of the early 80s. So like Hungry Hippos had, bubbles all over the place, didn't it? I'm trying to remember what that looked like. So I feel like that was the Hippos
had like grab things.
That's right. There are no dice involved in Hippos, huh?
Hippomatic.
Yeah, the hippos would eat anything. So if you put dice in front of them,
I'm sure they'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
What is the point of popping a dice roller instead of just rolling a dice?
Well, if you've got a 4-year-old, they're a whole lot less likely to put the entire thing in their mouths.
Choking.
And also, it makes a really satisfying popping sound.
It's a really satisfying little.
Okay.
I wish more games came with a pop-o-matic dice roller. Imagine playing Dungeons and Dragons and rolling your d20s in a pop-o-matic.
I'd be on board.
Can anyone imagine playing Dungeons and Dragons on this call but me?
I've never, but I would.
It's a 24-sided die. However many sides. Does the pop-o-matic work with that many sides?
We need to figure this out. There needs to be someone working on new-o-matics.
There's a big enough pop-o-matic, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, reveal your answers.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Let's see.
Leah,
Tell me this at least was a... Go ahead.
I thought it was Sorry too, but then I was in an Airbnb last year where there was Sorry and I played it. And then I remembered that I'd recently played Sorry and I was like, what other game did I used to play with my grandma? Trouble. Must have been that one.
Trouble is the correct answer, although I think Derek gets the point as well because Double Trouble also had a pop-o-matic.
Oh, that shit was real?
I wasn't lying.
I was just being fancy.
No, this is not like, no, I'm not making shit up right now.
See, you're too good, Derek. What is the truth? What is a lie?
That's true. You'll never know.
Our producer says that Trouble was first released in 1965. So at the moment, that pop-o-matic die roller, I think, was a real innovation. Seems like.
I mean, can you imagine a scientist that was like, hey, I came up with this thing. I call it the pop-o-matic. And everybody's like, go home, you drunk. But then now, vindicated.
He goes down as one of history's greatest heroes.
It's a mechanical marvel.
Well, I'm sorry to say that is all of the questions we have for this week. But We have something that we need to do, which is AJ is going to pop up a poll, and you, audience, can choose the panelists who you thought did the best job tonight by whatever criteria you like: pants, trouble, drawings, wit, day job integration into the questions, just whatever criteria you feel is appropriate. But before then, there is at least one quantifiable measurement available to us. AJ, who scored the highest during the technically incorrect round?
In the technically incorrect round, both having 5 points, was Eric and Derek.
See, there you go. If you don't have a Rick syllable in your name, you're not going to win.
No. Can we do a high five?
Change my name to Lyric before the next time I'm on.
Yeah.
It's going to be Tarek.
Yeah.
Gonna get a Garrick in here and a who names their kid Garrick? I don't know.
Well, Nicole can just be Rickole, because
Hey.
And Lea Popielinski.
We'll workshop it. Our producer is telling us that Derek is in fact undefeated in technically incorrect rounds. Don't vote for him. It'll just go to his head.
That's right. I just make my head too big to fit through the door next time.
Well, you can choose a winner however you like, but either way, we'll find out who it is right after one more teeny tiny break. See you in a few. Okay, audience, remember that the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geeks2drink.com and or by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Like and subscribe. You know what to do. Now, without further ado, AJ, who is our winner?
Today, with 14% of the vote, we have Derek.
I voted for myself.
And with 28% of the vote, we have Eric, Lea, and Nicole. It's a three-way tie for first place.
Everybody wins. That's not Derek.
And then the person that they brought voted for them. This is great.
I didn't vote. I could have put myself over.
You could have. What the hell? You always vote for yourself. Didn't you run for class president?
Last week, I voted for Naim and he won, and it was going to be a tie, but I voted for him.
The hell, Nicole?
Every week, I play myself. But it's nice to share the glory with Lea and Kohen. All right. Well, we did it. Thanks for watching. Nice to see you guys. And make sure you come back next week to see if everyone but Derek is still technically correct.
Technically correct, together forever. Technically correct, surviving the weather. Technically correct, birds of a feather, and I got a new obsession. It's technically correct with you.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.